Shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fuji. She was so gentle, so calm and weak. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And the murderer is one of us, standing right here.
Hey, come on!
Oh man, what's got her so worked up? Oh my god. Hi. Okay, so cool's not okay. Okay.
Well then. It's...
Ooh. Danganronpa Class trial. Waifu Kyoko. Hina. Right there by the buttons. Sillies. Talk over that crazy. As we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, continued to descend without hesitation until finally it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I recorded it. Redecorated it. It's so fresh, isn't it exciting? Don't waste our time with our stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good. You're no rip roaring to go. Gotta say, I gotta hate it. Not at all.
Well?
Okay then, let's get the show on the road.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, and a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Okay, so I'm gonna save at that. Let's go. Yay, I found. Holy crap, people are sleepy. It's a kermit. Who's sleepy? Oh god. Increases damage to opponent when statement is destroyed. Effective during bullet time. Hey. That's it. Okay. 16, so 2 less than last time. Okay, let's go. Go do your homework. I did my homework.
Determine the results.
Who are you? Let's begin with a basic explanation of class trial, so your votes will determine the results.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
Yay! First, make your argument. Dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monaco...
R1. Circles fast forward. Trying to shoot. Hold on, R1.
Kumafile. The killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Nani?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was...
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Wrong!
No, that's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
Detective, my boy.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Lies. I don't think it's Genocide Jack. The way Genocide Jack kills, it's not the way for the if lines of white noise will appear. Your truth bullets would disappear if they hit these lines, so think about them as obstacles. But there is a way to keep the white noises from getting in your way. Press X to attach a silencer, which you can shoot down the white noises. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time will decrease, so take careful aim. This is no energy. You're about to sign. But then good luck and have fun. So X as silencer. Genocide Jack.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it.
Shoot!
The culprit is Genocide Jack. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, there's just no proof.
Hey, so, I don't know who that is!
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
The culprit is Genocide. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's a...
Why?
Well, I mean, there's just no proof for it.
I'm gonna shut the door!
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file. Well, I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the genocide.
What? That's kind of weirdish.
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail.
Yep.
According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case.
Yep.
The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Who is sleepy?
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No.
Bloodlust.
It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
I got it! Apparently, in every other than the killer, The only people who know about this are the...
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
I don't believe that.
No, fuck.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Let me go all the way. Let me just go all the way up to Toko. Just want to go out. Jesus Christ, this is a lot. Oh my eyes. Anyway, Toko said,
In fact,
I won't let
it's Toko.
What?
I see.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
He's behind my school. You lie! Gotta save that.
Okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Kind of.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes
and no.
Another riddle.
Split personality. Split.
Is this really the... I refuse to give up yet!
I see how it is, y'all. You're just gonna blame the black guy. Schizophrenia. So that's...
Now I understand! Is it because Genocide Jack...
Huh?
I think I read that. They thought that the suspect might have... What did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay.
Perfectly, it's Toko's strange behavior after...
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting
That's right.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that...
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
That's what I was talking about. I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer and drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in.
It was to keep Genocide Jack from going
It was to
out.
keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me, she said, a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie.
You said you wouldn't.
What?
You promised.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Very low shot. That's not funny, I'm sorry.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of...
It wasn't Genocide Jack. The way Jack kills, it wasn't the way... Let me see. I'm not truth bullets. Blow to the head. The way Jack kills. Hey.
You said if I... That's...
How many times do I have to... But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
You...
Hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
What the heck?
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
What happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
You want lunchables tomorrow? Cause we ain't got no bread.
Sure. Stop being so rude.
Just going into all of it like, you want lunchable for tomorrow? What? She entered up in the all room. She entered up in my room, all room. No, I didn't. Yeah, he said yeah. Sure, he said sure. He wants that green. No, he wants that green. What type of lunchable you getting? Isn't there a one with the nacho and the milk?
Wait, on my phone. Where? In the Fizzy. It's my phone. Okay, I'm back.
Say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding.
Then, of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is There's clearly a motive. Remember what if someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, well, let's assume if a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. But I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really?
Perhaps if you had an alibi.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now I...
When you compare your past murders to this, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong! Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Uh-oh, you don't... Well then, human... I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce. But what happened to... It'd be like if that's it. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, according to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right? Ah, yes! Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope.
What is your...
Well, in all the... Specifically...
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there. Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death. What?
I got it! Is it because...
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack case...
They were all...
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't...
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors.
Okay, whatever.
Are you sure? Da-da-da-da!
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore!
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah! That's why we...
Shoot! Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out. You'd have no problem gaining Axe Plus. You'd already looked through... Right, you?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of because he wanted...
So, the adorable glasses man was behind it all!
Well, Byakuya?
I see. Then I must ask. When would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
The way you were acting right... You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right?
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange.
On the contrary.
Okay then, go ahead. Share.
Oh, true flashback. If you aim at the worst spot, hold down. Wait, what? Hold triangle. Then it'll memorize that weak spot. The memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single true bullet. If you shoot or change the true bullet, it will disappear from the silencer. However, you can use the fire shot change as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have an answer, you will lie or contradict. Oh god. How many are there?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room. There was no time for point. What's so strange about...
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting, but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya, but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker. There was no time. What's so strange?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya, but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. but he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room, you...
That's a natural reaction.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you what's so because up until we actually discovered the body, so your claim that you went to the girls' locker room...
I see. Interesting.
Huh?
My reasoning.
What's wrong? Is that it? What's the matter?
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences, the proof you're looking for.
Oh? Proof that I'm the... culprit?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
What? The difference? You want me to explain when I want to kill, and I use those same...
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right!
Then there must be
Hey, Byakuya, I'd never
Seen that rope before in my life.
Obviously, somebody else
Must have had it hidden away somewhere.
What? The difference? You want me to explain when I want to kill, and I use those same...
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right!
Then there must be some...
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you...
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No.
Obviously,
No.
Somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
What? The difference? You want me to explain when I want to kill, and I use those same...
But Chihiro, it was some kind of rope.
That's right!
Then there must be some...
Hey, Byakuya, I'd never
seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
Go.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that extension... What? Byakuya and the same... went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who...
That's really what you... I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about... What's wrong?
Hell yes, that's what happened.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
You're calling this a game, right?
Sorry,
Do we really need to?
I know. There's something that's still...
Is that right? I killed her in the girl... Specifically, I dressed it up to make it... What about all...
I got it!
Oh, I got
You
it right.
say you killed Chihiro and the girl, but are you sure about that?
How? What kind of question? She was found dead in the... How could the scene...
Well, along with the rest of the murder scene.
That was awfully specific.
I believe...
Hey! Don't just... Come on, Mako. If there's any chance the murder took...
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is... Your proof? The poster in a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to...
So you're saying...
And there's one other thing You know what I'm talking about. Right, Sakura?
You're referring to...
In New York, I'm really rock.
While I was in the girls' locker room, what I noticed...
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away.
Yes,
In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
Keithan, call me. I can barely hear you. Call me, I can barely hear you.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, but why wouldn't
to move the murder scene from one locker room to the other? In other words, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all... Actually, an even bigger question, then how did Chihiro get it to get into the locker rooms? But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed... She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way!
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Look at ebook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it!
What?
She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Yeah, boy.
No, that's wrong!
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It
What?
says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that would...
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
He fooled me.
It seems like there's no way she could have got...
Okay then.
Hold on a sec. I agree with you, though.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say?
Mondo, you can't talk.
There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room.
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in?
What? What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait.
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess. Now then, what is it you want?
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty
The girls' locker room?
We've already...
I'd like you to examine the victims. Be sure to examine the...
Examine her.
No, wait, no! It's not that I'm...
Very well.
But you're a girl.
No, it's okay. So just...
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action?
That's not it at all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Chihiro.
Be sure to check her entire body.
Her entire body. What? What is not possible? This
Is what?
is a boy!
Ah, I see.
What?
You're joking.
I wouldn't joke about this.
Aw.
It's really true?
Chihiro was...
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat.
Yeah, the voice.
Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, now I'm really on fire!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone. Now let's ride this wave. We've all just learned of the shocking
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact... And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
How are he? Dressed like a girl. Was a girl but dressed like a boy?
So then, the victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and the killer could have easily...
So, Chihiro really...
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body.
Well, I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most tittle...
So now everything has...
Okay, well, connected or...
Soft. What about you, Makoto? After everything...
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all. What? But he just seems to be too easygoing about all this. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do...
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the...
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Taking a picture of that.
Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important now then.
Well,
you're seriously gonna keep...
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility, because if we're wrong...
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Hey, got Kyoko. Got please.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Got Hakakari.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
We don't have Taka.
Of course I do. What am I?
Oi, Keithan. I think. Oh crap! Nemo invited me to a party. I don't want to be disrespectful. Nothing. I'm still about to play Danganronpa. It's a game. Watch my broadcast if you don't know what it is. I'm sorry, then I won't be able to tell you what it is, bruh. Huh? Because that's gonna ruin the flavor.
Can you stop being
Anyway,
like that?
let's discuss this all as a group.
Please.
Okay.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the...
Excellent.
I got it!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to...
No, what's on this account? No, I'm talking to myself. What? You do it. I'm doing something. Back, presumably she was on her way to
Who did it? Shoot!
Ah, I just lost.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Shoot!
Isn't there a single clue?
Well, did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
Yeah.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
No, that's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only the rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noise.
Whatever! Just...
It was last night, right before nighttime.
Right
I saw
before
Chihiro
nighttime.
in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag.
Duffel bag.
And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and...
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of time.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he would...
Which means that conversely, enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a mutt! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right?
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Yes. Okay. I don't have to go. I'm gonna finish this trial before I go anywhere.
Who is it? Who's the...
Huh? Your dark side? Okay. I thought your friend Jake was supposed to get it. So why you told him to get it? You have to play with him. You still have to play with him. Goodbye. Bye.
But fine.
Was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't...
Remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
I don't have any more clues.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Shoot!
First of all, we know where Chihiro
was on his way, so next we have... Why did he choose...
What do you mean, I got it! It matched the one...
So, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even... He's exercising!
I have a white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it? First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. Well...
Shoot!
First of all, we know where he was on his way, so next we... Why did he choose...
What do you mean, I got it! It matched the one... So...
The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, it's wrong! Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said... She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial,
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the...
No, that the bag and clothes were...
Then the only reason he could have known what is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
So, how about it? Did you see the...
Just by chance. He walked past me. And...
No, that can't be it. When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, was your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why?
That's a good question. There was a certain turn. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No. I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, did you really?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I... What gives you the right to treat me like a god?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem.
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me.
Really? Actually, no.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away?
If you really insist. Well, it happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
I got it! We know Chihiro's hand
for a fact.
I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the
Well, that's what I was hoping. But
I imagine the culprit broke it to...
That's odd.
You're right, they're totally waterproof.
And yet, this one does appeal for all your confidence. That is a remarkably high failure rate.
How precise?
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook...
Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point...
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession...
Then we can only assume you know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it? I think it's a necessary piece of information if you...
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already!
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flip it...
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange. It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out?
Indeed.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course. And it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's
I won't say it's not. I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone. Whoa! I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Mondo.
Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on! I don't accept this!
Oh my god.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's wrong.
How did I do that first try? I don't know.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed?
The broken handbook isn't that one?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right.
But doesn't that violate the school
Well, there is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, as such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong!
He's not.
Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
No, I'm not.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning?
Oh, it's probably that case closer.
That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
It's probably from the case closer. Yeah.
The killer is you! First, last at the time, that something was a blue tracksuit. With bag in, she made her, but how could the victim, who was a... The killer is you! With bag in hand, she made her way, but how could... Simple, which is... Once in... It seems likely that... And attack. And that's where the... It was like... Which is then removed. And finally carrying a girl's handbook was, but this alone doesn't prove. After all, Sayaka and Jun using one of those... Here's exactly what happened. After all, Sayaka using one of... And that's exactly what the carpet... They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker. That could have... Yakuya discovered the bomb. So, he went and grabbed the extension cord. He used the cord. Then, he wanted to create the illusion that... I refuse to give up yet!
No. I'm gonna go eat. I'm back.
The killer is you! First, let's take a... Last night, at the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, she made her... But how... Simple. Which is why he was able to use his own. Once inside, he... It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and that's where the blood... It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act, then removing the blood. And finally carrying a girl's hand, but this alone does. After all, using one of those, a boy. The killer is you! After all, using one of those... Here's exactly what happened! After all, using one of... And that's exactly with the carpet and... They that could have been Byakuya just... So, he went and grabbed the... He used...
That's sadistic.
Then, he wanted to create... The killer is you! And around the killer, having already there, and just as somehow, and the reason they, and that's how it all played out.
Jesus.
Isn't that right, Mondo?
Wait! Where's your evidence? You need evidence without any proof?
What? So you can put a square x square. Wait. Then first interfere at 3. If you before first at this point you just see last one you have to remove this. So you can press.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it!
Oh!
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced, in which case, once we do that...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah, I did it.
Yay, got an A. I got 75 mono coins.
I got no choice, man. After here, go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that!
Wait!
No waiting! Time for the moment we've all been waiting. Who will you elect? Will you make the right choice? What's it gonna be?
You basically say it was him.
What?
Be right back.
Yeah. $8.20.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my god.
Unbelievable.
Sorry.
What?
Now then. Actually... Ha!
Weak, 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 weak.
Hey,
I'm sorry. But... That's right. I want to change.
hey,
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
Correct. Indeed. Certainly.
But...
Because... I knew it.
What is this? You're wrong!
Don't make me repeat my...
Hey,
I just... Don't fuck with me. I just...
I'm sorry. Huh? But I want to change.
You piece of... What? What? What?
No! What's wrong?
Damn you!
I just wanted to...
Yeah, that's right. You son of a bitch! I killed even after all this time. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Yep.
It can't be.
Well now.
Ridiculous.
Now then, I prepared a very special... Let's give it up!
Sorry, I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
That's my style.
This.
Naturally.
Hey. However...
What?
Honestly. There is nothing to be done.
What?
Well...
That's right.
I see.
But...
Interesting.
Correct. Indeed. Hey.
What's this?
You... What?
Damn.
What the heck? Damn it! Ooh, how exciting!
That's enough. In the name of my family.
You're getting all riled up! Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see. As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away! Oof, my. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friend.
I know I shouldn't cry. I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. Getting out of here anytime soon. It's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to.
Okay.
Huh? But...
Oh. So then.
How about that?
Well...
Well... Is that okay? Huh?
Here we go!
There is nothing to be done.
You know? I'm right, right?
Perhaps. Well then.
You called for me, and so I appear! Yes! Aha! You
You first eat breakfast with a murderer. Yeah. Man. Okay. It's not sweet. So.
Could it be?
Here's the fourth floor.
Let's see.
Oh crap.
Listen up! Ba-bum, ba-bum.
So then...
Too bad! Watch out!
Most unfortunate.
We're gonna have to quit game. Oh, I can't play. Can I play pool? I'll shoot you. What? Stop the hair. Okay. Your corner.
It would seem. Whew.
Okay. Yeah, what do I do? Physics. They work with physics around what time is it? I'ma save. Watch what, guys. This is gonna be the end of my broadcast. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I didn't talk much, but see you later. Save 3 times to keep it safe.
Danganronpa.